So do you want to know the truth about working as a kids entertainer? Then follow along, friends! By the end of this video, you will know what the good and bad is about being a kids entertainer. And if you want your questions answered as well, just put them in the comments below and I will answer them on another one of these fun escapades. Is escapade a word? Hello friends, my name is Stephanie Lee-Harper and I'm here today to answer your questions on how to become a kids entertainer. Now, I've only got a few questions because I've only just started out doing these shows, so thank you for those people that put them in, so that's lovely. Okay, first question. I need my glasses for this. So first question is, did you always want to be a kids entertainer? And that is what, from 1001 Killer List. No, I wanted to be an actor or also work at the convenience store down the road. So I'm easily pleased. I do think this is the best job in the world though, and it's not to do with kids entertaining, it's to do with working with children. I think children keep you young and they keep you happy. And also what I've noticed as well, being an adult magician, is you don't get the same joy. And I need that joy to stay alive from their faces and the way they say, "Mummy, I just saw magic." You're not usually going to see a 40-year-old or 30-year-old saying that unless they're completely drunk. I do think kids entertaining is the best job in the world though. It's better than school teaching because you don't have to go there and earn the same amount of money for 6 hours of working with children, and there's one of them which is just crazy and is whacking you and calling you the C word. This one, you only got 45 minutes. And if there's a devil in there, you only see them for 45 minutes. Then you run out the door like this, bye. And you get paid the same as a school teacher for the whole day. And also, there's no lesson plan. It's the same show. Next question, get me old biddy glasses up. What is the worst kids' birthday party that you have done? The worst kids' birthday party I have done, it wasn't actually a birthday party, it was a party for a swimming pool complex and there was a child in there. It wasn't actually what the kids did, it's what I did. Oh no, I've got two I've got to share with you. Oh my goodness. The first one, I was getting them to all have these little certificates at the end of the party. The boy wouldn't come up. He was sort of moving like this. I was like, come on up, lovely, come on, up you come. Then I noticed he had those Forrest Gump, like machine metal things in his legs. And instead of shut up and just go, oh, I'll help you, my brain wasn't working and it was trying to work out what was happening. And I was like, oh, you've got metal things on your legs. Oh, you can't get up. Oh. And I just kept speaking on the microphone. It was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing for him, for me. Next one was, I went to a deaf association just down the road from me in Pilly, and I'm doing the coin trick, you know, coin behind the ears. And so I go to this girl, she's probably about 10 years old, and I go like this, oh, what's behind you? And I go towards her face, and there's no ear. There's no ear, just a hole.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I did not know what to do. I just pressed it to the side of her head and thought, please swallow me up now, because everybody in that room would have known that girl and they probably were like this on the inside. There I was. I had to commit to it. Oh, yay. Hopefully the little girl didn't notice. Oh, I just felt so sorry. Sorry for the whole situation, basically. It was, oh dear. And then the final one, which sticks in my mind, was a little boy who I'm trying to get them to play hokey cokey. In Australia, it's called the hokey pokey. And I'm saying to this girl, hold his hand, hold his hand. And I couldn't understand why she wouldn't hold his hand. And she looked up at me and said, he's got no hand. And I said, he's got no hand? On the microphone. I didn't understand. My brain has got to catch up. And he looked up and he did this. He's literally got no hand. Swallow me now. It's like, ah, this is what I felt like doing. Yeah. So those were the parties where I messed up. The worst party that I actually had was a party for a 7-year-old who was a lovely boy, really lovely. It was a Chinese family and they were in a house that I'd been to before. And that house I remember distinctly because the last time I went to that house, there was a kid who was about 6 years old, like ADHD. My boy's ADHD, but this boy was bouncing off the walls. And he was so hyper that he grabbed a magic wand. I could tell he didn't mean to, but he whacked it across my nose and blood came out of my nose. So I remember that house. Anyway, cut to this part, and this little boy's lovely, but his friends were devils from hell. And what happened is every time I did something, they'd grab it and shout, "Chuck it in the fire, chuck it in the fire." Luckily the fireplace wasn't on, and they just grabbed stuff, throw it in the fire. I had a balloon, they stamped on it, like a big balloon for the birthday boy, they stamped on it, and it was just awful. What do you think is the most important part of entertaining kids? Lily Smith, MIT, Lily Smith. So the most important part about kids entertaining is not the show, weirdly. It's actually about the connection between you and the person. So you don't just see the crowd, you have to see the people in the crowd. That's really important. So when you're doing a show, I see lots of entertainers do this. "Hi everyone, hi." They're not even looking in the eyeballs. Just imagine if me and you were doing this right now. "Hi everyone, hi, how are you?" And I wasn't actually looking into the lens, I was just like looking over here. Wouldn't that be distracting? The other thing is touch, which sounds weird, creepily weird. I wouldn't recommend this for male entertainers, but girl entertainers, very important that you hug them, that you put your arm on their shoulder, you make them feel like you are their big sister or their mum. Just really excited. How exciting are you? Get that proper energy. And you can only get that energy when you love children, or you can fake it. And one of the other things is not to keep doing different tricks. So I do magic, that's my kids entertaining main source of income. I've noticed that people who do different tricks, they just trick people. The magic is not in the tricks, the magic is in the connection with you and the audience. You have a kid who is 7 years old and jumping up and down, you make them the star, even if they're driving you crazy. Laugh at their jokes when they come up on stage and they bend over and do that sort of noise. And you've got to twerk, it's a little bit tricky, you've got to turn it around to make sure that you're in control, but you can't just slam it down straight away. You've got to turn it slowly to get back into control. Oh, it's professional, it's my breakfast bowl. When do you start doing kids entertaining full time? Okay, you start doing kids entertaining full time if you want to be a full-time kids entertainer when you've got money. So don't just jump straight into kids entertaining when you haven't, first of all, checked if there's money coming in. Check your surroundings, see if there's any other kids entertaining products that you can do. Maybe you can do bubble shows, maybe you can do balloon twisting. Just get as many of those as possible, but you've got to also, don't worry about it too much. I see people face painting. They spent so long being the best face painters and they're getting the same amount of money as other face painters who've only just picked up the brush. What you need to focus on is advertising and marketing and getting good at using online tools such as ChatGPT. I know that's a big curse for some people, but those things are really helpful to getting you working faster. Don't give up your day job, as your mum says. So when you're trying to move to any small business, you need to slowly move like this. So you keep the money coming in and you just reduce your hours of your full-time job and become an entertainer on the weekends. If you're like me and you're a school teacher, you can't reduce your hours, you can't say bye to the kids, you end up just having to work your butt off for about 2 years. So you're working 7 days a week. And that way you'll get your build up of your clients and then you can just completely make this one disappear. What do you do to advertise? Very good question. Without advertising, you're just standing there whistling in the wind and no one can hear you. So what I normally do for advertising is I've tried Facebook ads. I don't ever rule it out, but Dan Kennedy, the marketing guru, says, if you've got something that's working, put your money in that. You've got to go always where the money flows. Go where the money flows. So if the money's coming from Google AdWords, which they call Google Ads now, you put your money in that. But I don't put it in blindly. I don't switch it on. Google's tricky like this. Don't put all your money in and then switch it on with some keywords, because Google's a greedy little pig and it will gobble up all of that money and you'll get nothing for it. You need to have a person that knows exactly how to use Google, who can say, don't do that here, click on here, this is how you find the reports, because without that, you are spending the third of your income on advertising and you're not getting your bang for your buck. You'll be wasting it on keywords that don't go anywhere, like kids' birthday party ideas. There's different ways to use that keyword and get it cheap, and there's different ways like to make that a phrase keyword and then waste all your money. And how do you get that chunk of money? You work your ass off Monday to Friday and you use that money. Do you know what? You get Facebook Marketplace trainers and you use the money that you could have saved on trainers to put in your ads account. Imagine it like your drug. So definitely advertise, but don't do it blindly. Final one now, because I think I'm chatting too much. How do you learn how to do the magic tricks for your kids' birthday party entertainment? Oh, from Sam K27. Basically, I go onto different websites. There's one called practicalmagic.co.uk. It's not just Practical Magic's fault, just in general, magic is a bit old school. So it's a bit, looks like it's come out of the 1960s. It's not caught up yet with all the props, except for wolf magic. Wolf magic is amazing, but it's very expensive. So you've got like, the props look like state of the art, they're heavy, they're really durable, and they look great. Puppets, I get them from axtell.com, and they're very expensive as well. And you can get a cheaper one from Prince Puppets. So I get those puppets from there. And if you want a puppet to start with, then go to Puppets, spelled Pubbets. They're the ones that sponsored these videos, and go to there and get a puppet for yourself. They're good enough to go out as a professional kids entertainer when you're starting off. And they are such good quality and the most affordable puppets. Don't go and spend $800 with Axtell when you don't even know what you're doing yet. Just get the puppet, practice it, see if you like it, and then go for the big ones. How I do it all, how I make it into an actual show, is it's not about the magic, it's actually about the jokes behind it. So I will go and research in YouTube all of the kids entertainers around the world, and I will basically not really take their routines, but I'll take their jokes. And don't worry, that you might think you're stealing. It's not stealing, because it's not going to be them doing it, and it's going to be your interpretation of that joke. And honestly, probably 80% of the jokes are regurgitated from somebody else anyway. So you take those jokes and you fill all of your jokes all through your boring script. Your script will be boring, so you've got to fill it up with funny bits of business, it's called. So find what works, copy it, and then get into that state of being funny, and then the jokes will start popping. And every time you get a joke, or the kids tell you a joke, you make sure you write it down in your master script. And how I learn the magic tricks is when you're a kids entertainer, again, it's not about the magic, it's the connection. So the magic trick literally is a lever. So there's nothing to learn. It's all about your stage, your persona, and how well you connect with the kids and how much fun they're having. One book I recommend is Silly Billy's book. He also has a video out as well, if you're not into reading, but that taught me a lot about how to sort of go into the drunk mode, because kids are sort of technically drunk in a way they speak. And when you go down that route, you'll be the best kids entertainer. Now, also, if you'd like to be a kids entertainer as well, just click down below. There is a link. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Bargain! And it's a 12-step blueprint on how to be a kids entertainer, a successful kids entertainer, because you don't want to be a dodgy one. You want the money flowing into your bank account. So click on the link below, or say, give me the guide, and I will give it to you. And I'll send you a little message if you say, give me the guide, saying thank you. Also, if you have any questions on how to be a kids entertainer, just put them in the comments below and I will save them up and then do another one of these questions and answers. And please like and subscribe because I'm new. Thanks, bye, bye.